What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge. It is Thursday, October 20th. Can you believe it? 2022. We are smack dab in the middle of the best sports betting time of the entire year. All of the major sports are now in action, so you got to be very careful. And I know you want to bet on everything, but you just can't. Now, let's take a look at how we did yesterday. Kind of a ho-hum day at the brand. A lot of check marks on the left. Not as much on the right, although Johnny, a nice cash with the Astros last night as well. We also hit them with a team total on a little discussion we had on another show as well. So that was nice, over 3.5. Let's bring in the stars of the show today because it's a busy day at the brand. 4 big shows today. First and foremost, he is our baseball aficionado, Johnny Bowman, as you see the schedule coming up. Johnny, good morning, sir.
Morning, Coach. Yeah, we had a lot of base runners in the first inning yesterday, but we had an amazing Aaron Judge play, a 50% catch probability in the first inning that kept us from hitting that run first inning. But we got the base runners, so I think it was a good play regardless. And we've got one more game tonight, so ready to get after it.
Oh, I'm fired up today. And this man is all about our NFL coverage. Nobody does it better. He is the maestro, Larry Hartstein. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. But I want to talk about the NBA. The experts got off to a 7-3 start on the website. And the thing about the NBA, and you always know it, but it hits home when you get 12 games and about half of them land a half a point or 1 point off the number, including the totals. I mean, the sweats are incredible down to the last shot. I had one with the Raptors. The Knicks Grizzlies was another one that comes right down to the last play. So those are unbelievable sweats in the last 30 seconds.
I took the Raptors on the money line. I think it was like minus 135 or something like that because of exactly what you're talking about. And that's what happened. It's crazy, but it's back and we're here for it. We don't get super into the NBA until NFL is over, but it's certainly going to be a big part of what we do. All right, let's get into it. As I mentioned, 4 big shows today. In addition to this one, we've got the Prop Shop. 3 p.m. Eastern with Prop Stars on Twitter Spaces. You can actually ask the man himself any prop question that you want. We do it for about 30 or 40 minutes every single week. Then we have Early Edge in 5 at 4 o'clock. And then tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, it's Early Edge Live, counting down to Thursday night football, the Saints and the Cardinals. But let's get into it. Storylines could affect the betting lines today. And Johnny, in baseball, because of a rain out, because of the schedule, because of more teams, a lot of things are different this year. Start us off.
Yeah, Coach, I really wanted to talk about this today because this is really sneaky, but we only have 1 day off in the LCS this season, and it seriously affects the rotations. So it's a very important storyline that I wanted to get out, but the playoff format changed in the earlier rounds. We've talked about that. But because of the lockout, because the MLB season started later, they actually got rid of an off day in the LCS series that's normally there. So it's usually a 2-3-2 series, and you travel after the 2 and you travel after the 3. Well, now this year, there's only a travel day after the 2. There is no off day in between the 3 and the 2. So if you go a 7-game series, you're playing 5 games in a row. And basically what happens is instead of your game 3 starter pitching in game 3 and being on normal rest in game 7, he would actually be on just 3 days rest in game 7. And you would have to pitch somebody on short rest in that day because you wouldn't have a starter you wouldn't have a starter on normal rest there. You could go 5 starters in the playoff series, which would solve that problem. But I don't know if either of these teams are going to go 5 starting pitchers in a playoff series. So it'll be really interesting to see how these teams go. Like I said, you could end up playing 5 games in a row. And I really think this new format, in a sense, this one off day really benefits both the Astros and the Padres because those are the 2 teams that have the starting pitching depth and have the bullpen depth. So if it does get into these later games of the series, you could see those teams starting to break away in terms of pitching.
This is such an important storyline. I don't think I can emphasize enough how important this storyline is. I'm thinking some overs. I'm thinking some craziness going on, but very, very important. Johnny, thank you very much. Now, Maestro, tonight, Saints and the Cardinals. And as Prop Stars likes to tell us, it's not a slop game. It's a proper opportunity. So we can always find something, some storyline, some angle, even though the game is something we don't particularly want to watch. And so far this year, Thursday nights have been bleh. Sell me on this game.
Well, yeah, we've had 12-9 and 12-7 the last two Thursday nights. This one should be a little more interesting. I'm just very surprised to see the money coming in on the Cardinals up to -2.5, laying -115 at some places, which lends me to believe that we might get a 3. If I get a 3 in the Saints, I will not be able to stay off that. I just don't understand how the Cardinals, who have lost 8 straight home games, they're going to miss 2 of their key offensive linemen, center Rodney Hudson, guard Justin Pugh. Those guys are solid, and the backups are not nearly as good. You also don't have Hollywood Brown, who's basically been most of your downfield offense. You do get DeAndre Hopkins back, but how much is he going to be able to play after not having been on the field for so long? And on the Saints side, we know about, Landry, Thomas, Pete, Lattimore. Those guys are out, but they do get Chris Olave back, and that is huge for the Saints. One way to look could be the first half under or the Arizona Cardinals under, because they don't score in the first quarter. 3 points in the first quarter all season. That averages a half a point per first quarter. They've been outscored 41-3. And I think the Saints, they haven't even announced their starter. Dalton and Winston both are not on the injury report. I think it'll be Dalton because he took the first team reps. Taysom Hill has been excellent. If this gets to 3, though, I will be on the Saints.
You're damn right. I'm all over the Saints. I may not have to wait until it gets to 3. Gentlemen, we have an issue. We have an issue in the chat that we need to help. Now, it warms my heart when somebody says, haven't really looked yet, Dickie. Just got to work. Clock in and check lines. We've got people clocking in and then checking lines. Very dangerous to do on company time. Unless you're us. And this is our job. And we get to do it all day long. Big Cheesy, I want you to have a job. I like you being a part of it. Be very, very careful. Be very careful. They can look at that search history. They can. All right, let's get into our board for the day. Remember, we're going to have best bets all day long. We're going to reserve the Thursday night bets for a little bit later when lineups come out, injuries, that sort of thing. But 2 plays from SportsLine. We'll get to those as soon as we get paid by one of our partners. And we are back. Those who are watching on YouTube, welcome. Apple, Spotify, listening. We value you as well. 2 plays from SportsLine. If you're not a SportsLine member yet, what are you doing? Come on. Come join the biggest and best community in sports betting that there is. But I'll do you a solid. Use a promo code EARLY, and I'll give you 30 days for free. You can check out everything that we do, and it's only $10 a month after that. Not hundreds, not thousands, $10. We want you. All right, now we're going to go to hockey for our first play. Under 6.5, Coyotes and the Canadiens. It's just too high for these 2 teams at this point of the season. We'll take the under 6.5. Then in college football, yes, there is college football Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. We're going to go Troy, South Alabama. Starts at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Emory Hunt is on the over 46.5. South Alabama, they have 1 loss this year to number 6 UCLA. They rank top 30 in total offense and passing offense nationally. Troy averages over 300 yards a game passing. How can this over only be 46.5? We're banging it right now, courtesy of Emory Hunt. All right, let's get to my boys. If this is what I got, you know what the order is. Come on, Johnny B, you're up first, big boy.
Yeah, and like you said, Coach, I'm going to be on the afternoon show, so I'm saving most of my plays for that. I want to think about the gameplay, game flow a little bit more. So I've only got 1 play in the morning show, but we're going to go right back to it with the Astros on the money line against the Yankees. Framber Valdez and Luis Severino both have pitched very well against these opposing teams this season. So I actually think the starting pitching matchup here is pretty much a wash. However, the Astros have a big bullpen advantage. They have tons of depth, and I think they have the quality at the top of their bullpen that the Yankees don't necessarily have. The Yankees did get essentially an off day for the top of their bullpen, which they desperately needed. So they should be available, and they should be more rested than they have been. The Astros, however, have a big lineup advantage as well. We saw the bottom of their order produce most of their runs yesterday, and if the bottom of the Astros lineup is producing runs, then that lineup is a very scary lineup. Framber Valdez is a ground ball pitcher. The Yankees, we know, love to hit home runs, which include fly balls. So it's going to be very interesting to see which of these aspects dominates the game, if Framber's going to be able to get the ground balls or if the Yankees are going to be able to put it in the air. So I think Framber's going to win that battle. I like the Astros on the money line here.
You're damn right. We're riding the Astros till the wheels fall off. That's all I know. I've got a futures ticket for the series. I've got it for the World Series. because of you. And so I'm riding with the Astros all day. By the way, Mason in the chat says, Coach, can we get a 4-sport parlay today with the major sports leagues? Mason, I think that's a fantastic idea. Snake, remind me, in 5 today, we will have a 4-sport parlay for the good people at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So I have a chance to put it together. But Mason, for you, we will do it today on the afternoon show. Now, with that being said, Maestro, I'm looking at your 2 plays today, and they could not be any more different. But you know where they don't look at anything and say, oh, that's different? Do you know where they don't do that? The pay window, damn it. The pay window. The pay window. So with that being said, the floor is yours.
All right, let's start off with a prop on Thursday Night Football, and I got to give credit to a new researcher in the CBS Sports Research Department. You may be hearing more about this person in the future, but she's on Marquez Callaway under, and so am I, under 29.5 receiving yards. The main factor is that Chris Olave is back. Now, he got 7 targets last week. Callaway did, but we don't expect that. And the downfield balls should go to Olave. They also have Rashid Shaheed, I think I'm pronouncing it right, another rookie receiver that they want to get the ball to. And Callaway has run 102 routes and only been targeted 17 times all season. And another factor, I think it's going to be a big running game for the Saints with Taysom Hill mixed in, which limits the passing opportunities for Callaway. So let's go under 29.5. He's had 2 total duds this season and 2 decent games. I think this will be a dud for him personally, although I do think the Saints will be very competitive. And I think Mikey is going to be wanting to showdown you, Coach, later on tonight on that game. Let's go to the NBA, though. We hit a prop with Jaden Ivey last night. Let's just go very chalky. Giannis, over 48.5 points, rebounds, and assists against the 76ers. This is opening night for Giannis. There's no Chris Middleton. There's no Pat Connaughton. So that is an increased scoring load on Giannis. What did he do against the Sixers last season? 60, 52, and 51. And the Sixers defense did not look that good, giving up 126 points against Boston a couple nights ago. I think Giannis goes off again. Let's go over 48.5.
He is one of those players that really likes to show out on certain nights against certain teams. And this would be one of those nights, certainly as the season is getting started. I love this. And through the first couple of nights, the Stars have been ready to play. They have been ready to play. Johnny, quick question from the chat. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. What do you think about the Astros money line and Valdez to have 5 Ks? You put it together, it's plus 130.
I love it mainly just because of how much the Yankees have been striking out lately. I think they had 10 or 11 strikeouts yesterday, and they were striking out a lot more in series before. The only thing that worries me is Valdez is more of a contact pitcher, a ground ball pitcher. So I do like it, but be careful of that.
Maestro, go.
Yeah, the chat saying they got Callaway at 33.5, so all the better there.
All right, very good. Both of them there. All right, I think we got to everything. Remember, we're completely interactive. If you have something, we'll get to it. I'll read it. We're not like other places. We want you to be a part of the show, not speak at you, but speak with you. All right, grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of Jake the Snake on the 1s and the 2s. Maestro's on Marquez Callaway under 29.5 receiving yards. To be honest with you, I'm thinking about betting every under that's offered for a Cardinals player because that's going to be a bet. You're going to profit. You're going to profit. It's going to be terrible. They have a terrible offense. Giannis, over 48.5. Make sure you get the points, rebounds, and assists. They give a lot of different options for players like Giannis. Get the right one. Then Johnny B, 1 play early. He'll have more plays later. Astros on the money line, minus 145. And then from SportsLine itself, we'll go Coyotes, Canadians, under 6.5. It's in South Alabama, Troy, over 46.5. That's courtesy of Emery. You can get all of his picks. And you know he loves to do SCS. He loves to do the CFL. Last week, catched a couple of CFL picks. So Emery Hunt's one of our very important cappers in college football. All right, busy day today. Prop shop, early edge in 5, early edge live tonight. We grind for you. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. Johnny B, the Maestro, Jake the Snake on the 1s and the 2s. Get excited sometimes. I'm the coach. Tell all your friends. Turn on your notifications. If you're sitting at work and you don't want the bosses to know, turn it down just a little bit. But if you don't tune in live, what happens? You lose out. and you lose out at the early edge. Good luck.